So it is day 4 of potty training my 2-year-old, and it is Sunday evening, and we're going to see how much of my very messy house I can tidy up in a short period of time. My husband is starting the bath and bedtime routine, so I'm going to stick 15 minutes on the timer just to kick me off because I don't know what it is, but 15 minutes always feels doable. And then if time allows, I will add on 5-10 minutes more, but I'm very much time limited. As long as we are both around, we divide and conquer when it comes to bedtime, and we alternate who puts the boys to bed and who puts our little girls to bed. It is my night for putting the boys to bed. So I need to get this cleared up as much as possible because I hate finishing bedtime with the kids, coming downstairs and having the house chaotic. It is more chaotic than normal because potty training takes a lot of attention, and my little girl is doing so well. Like, she's doing so well for just being on day 4, but it does mean that we're kind of, throwing food together and leaving chaos behind us. And all of this in the kitchen is actually from the evening cooking. There's no lunch stuff here. We've tidied up after lunch, believe it or not. On a Sunday, I always aim to make a nicer than normal meal, and we all sit down and eat it together. Like, we do sit down and eat meals together on a Saturday, but we don't sit down a lot midweek because my kids are in after school clubs Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or my little one is at nursery and they eat their evening meal at school or nursery. Then on a Thursday, we have swimming lessons and we have classes. So we have a lunchbox in the car when we're on our way to and from things. On a Friday, my husband finishes at when school finishes, picks up all 3 kids, and he does their evening meal and sits with them while I work late. So really, it's only Saturday and Sunday that we're all together eating together. And Sunday is one of those days where I aim to do a roast dinner or something special. I was going to make a lasagna today, but I don't know why I thought I was going to make a lasagna while potty training. So my boys have been going a bit stir crazy, and my daughter. We've been indoors quite a lot for the last 4 days. We've been inside a lot, potty training. So I took the boys to our local skate park on their scooters this afternoon, and we were out for 2.5 hours. It was really nice. We saw some friends of theirs. They had such a good time. But when we got back, that meant I didn't have enough time to make lasagna. So I made a spaghetti bolognese, which I haven't made for ages, and the kids pretty much all like that. And we really like it, but it does create, when you're making it from scratch, because I always make it from scratch, no shop bought sauces for my spaghetti bolognese, and it does create quite a lot of mess. And then as we were wrapping up dinner, my 6-year-old was like, "What's for pudding, Mum?" And he's got quite a sweet tooth, but they like pudding when we have Sunday lunch, and I just hadn't thought about it. I'm not really a big pudding person, and I don't often make puddings. So I was thinking "Oh, what can I rustle up? What's pretty quick?" Or what have I got in? Or have I got anything in the freezer? And I had promised them pancakes this weekend, and then we had run out of time. Each morning we didn't have time to make them, as we had football to go to, and we had birthday parties to rush off to. So we hadn't made the pancakes. And I thought, well, I can do pancakes pretty quickly. So I made pancakes. I made for my American friends, not American style pancakes. These are like crepes. So thin, really thin pancakes, which we have with lemon and sugar. And we all really like those. And then I think my big pan it's lost its non-stick. And the first one was just an absolute disaster. And it wasn't great cooking spaghetti bolognese in it. So I was like, do you know what? That's it. The pan is done for. I need a new pan. So I had to use my little pan. So I used even more stuff. And then before I started tidying up, I put my bread maker on. So more stuff there where I need to measure out the flour, measure out the water and everything, and put the bread maker on so we have a fresh loaf for our toast tomorrow. So when you add all of that up and you have a few activities on the kitchen island that we've been doing, my eldest is doing some painting today, we have potty training stuff out, all of the stuff basically, it just all got a bit too much. And I thought, you know what, if I'm gonna clean up such a big mess, I might as well film it. And also that kind of spurs me on. Sticking on the timer also really spurs me on because it feels like a bit of a race. As I'm filming it as well, it just adds that extra impetus to get things tackled. And then while I was doing this, my husband came down to grab the bedtime drinks and my daughter's milk. and saw the camera out. And he's like, "Are you seriously filming this?" And I'm talking to him while I'm doing this. I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, of course I'm filming this." Because like, if I made, I've got to sort such a big mess out, why not film it and show people what we could achieve in a short space of time? Because I always think when I see a big mess like that, because it is a big mess, and there, I do get a bit of a kind of bad feeling in the pit of my stomach when I see it, and I know that it has to be sorted. And I think, God, this is going to take us like an hour with two of us working on this. And it actually could take an hour with two of us working on this. But if I set a timer and I make it a race, I can tackle an awful lot in a short space of time. Now, I will say I should have taken my jumper off at the start and I should have just put a gym kit on because I got so hot and sweaty. So my 50-minute timer went and I was adding another 5 minutes there. So that's 20 minutes in total by the time I finished that. And I'm tackling quite a lot here. I always aim to sweep up any larger bits of like food debris that have hit the deck because our robot vacuum cleaner, which I am going to put on, is really good, but there's only so much it can handle. So I always go around and I sweep up any like larger or stickier items before I put the robot vacuum cleaner on. And I've been putting the robot vacuum cleaner on a lot lately, but it's been a half term week for us, which we are just finishing, back to school tomorrow. So we've been around a lot more, the kids have been around a lot more, and that means more snacks and more crumbs and just more cooking and just more stuff on the floor. So I've been putting the robot vacuum cleaner on most days in the evening, and I actually think I might have run it earlier today or I ran it yesterday during the day. So sometimes twice a day, but it also just means if I'm going to put it on, like I have to clear everything from the floor, and that, drives me then to tidy things up. So, a slightly off topic or off the topic of cleaning anyway, if you've watched some of my earlier videos, you may have heard me mention that I was unsure what I was going to be doing with my hair and my hair colour. So, I have been dyeing my hair for like over 20 years, and I started to go grey, or I got my first grey hair when I was like 19. And lately, I have been thinking, that, well, basically, I'm tired of my hair colour. I haven't liked my hair colour for years. I have tried all sorts of different hair colors. At the moment, I've been using like a dark blonde hair color, and that takes quite well to my hair that is lighter. But then the hair that is darker, which you can probably see from this angle at the back of my my hair is still quite like dark. It's a like, well, I don't say it's a mousy brown. It used to be mousy brown, and then the hair dye doesn't take to that. So I feel like I look a bit like a badger at the moment. Like when I have my hair up, it's kind of streaky and it's lighter at the top and it's much darker at the bottom. And because I haven't liked my hair color for ages, I haven't liked the browns I've tried, I haven't liked the kind of reddish colors that I've tried, I haven't liked the blonde colors that I've tried. I'm running out of hair colors basically. And what I'm finding now with a darker hair color, as my hair is going grayer at the top, it like really shows through on the roots when it comes and grows out. And then so I use the blonde color and that kind of worked well, but then I have the dark hair color. And I was just thinking maybe I just leave it and see what my hair color actually looks like, my natural hair color with the gray streaks or salt and pepper or whatever it may be, and just see if I prefer my hair color as it naturally is. Like if I really don't like my hair color dyed, maybe I will prefer it natural. And I mentioned this to a couple of people. I mentioned it to my mum, I mentioned it to a colleague, and I think in general the reaction was shock. Like I think for most of us women, we have, grown up believing that it's bad to look our age and we should always do whatever we can to turn back the clock, or at least make it appear that we have halted time, get the Botox and use the hair dye and all the rest of it. And so I basically have come to the conclusion that I should not be telling people that I'm thinking about growing my hair out and just see how it goes. But at some point, it's going to become quite obvious. And just a couple of days ago, one of my kiddos, we were in the car going somewhere, and one of my kiddos said, "Mom, why do you have a brown streak in your hair?" And I think this is where my roots are starting to come through. And then where the hair is darker underneath and my hair had kind of parted, I guess, a bit funny. And he could see my natural hair color. And I was saying that, well, my hair color actually, like, technically is like a mousy brown color. And this really shocked my kids because I think I have had this blondish hair color for so long now. It's all they can remember. So the idea that that's not actually my natural hair color, because I dye my hair really regularly, try and keep on top of the roots, just like blew their minds. So I mean, quite frankly, I'm not going to ask you what you think of it because I think it will look a lot worse before it gets better. And everything that I have seen and heard leads me to believe it will take me about 2 years to grow my hair out to shoulder length. And that is an awful long time, isn't it? So apparently it's like a year to get your hair grown out to the ear, a year to the ear, and then 2 years to the chin. Wow, which is a long time. But I am not 100% going to say like I'm definitely going to grow my hair out because I'd like to, reserve the right to change my mind basically. If as my hair color starts to come through, I decide I don't like it, or I just get the jitters and get a box of hair dye. But for now, I'm not dyeing my hair, and I haven't dyed my hair now since maybe like the second or third week of December. So we're over 2 months of not dyeing my hair, which is very exciting and also a bit daunting. So we've got to a point in the clean now where the dishwasher is on and the washing up is mostly done, and I am putting some bleach down. This is a job that I have wanted to do for days, if not over a week. My sink has been really stained. I've got various stains on the work surfaces, but in any event, I try to bleach the work surfaces, just a little bit of light bleach once a week, just to fully sanitize the work surfaces, which we are obviously cooking on quite a lot. So now it is time. It's time for the jumper to go because I'm really too hot. And it's time to just tidy up the floor space as much as possible, get any toys off the floor, get any larger items up that are easy to move, so I can put the robot vacuum cleaner on. And there weren't too many toys, actually, just one random sock, which, where's the other one? My kids are allergic to socks, always flinging them off left, right, and centre. I find socks all the time. And yeah, if there are any other stray toys, then the robot vacuum cleaner will find them. It generally scoops them all out for me. And then I find all the little toys underneath it. So now the bleach is sat for a few minutes. I am going to wipe that down, clean up the bleach, and we're pretty much there. We're nearly done. We are on the home straight. And I will leave my washing on the drainer to dry and pack it away tomorrow. Do you do this? I feel like people are very divided on this. My mum hates it, absolutely hates it. And if she's in my house, which she hasn't been for ages, unfortunately, because my stepdad isn't very well and hasn't been for over a year now. So, but when she's ever in my house, if she sees any washing up on my drainer, she'll get the tea towel and start drying it. And she always says, like, dry it up straight away and pack it away immediately. And very much in my house, we're like, leave it there, it'll dry overnight, and then you can just put it straight into the cupboards or start using it, which is what we will do for like the drinks bottles for the kids. Water will go straight back in them and they will go to school with my kiddos. But yeah, my mum hates it. What are you in the camp of dry it up straight away or leave it on the drainer? I would love to know. So with me getting back on the top of my kitchen, I'm also starting to think about the next jobs that I need to do in the house. And I'm definitely feeling like the clutter level is creeping up again a bit. So my plan is to do a few like speed declutters or whole house like mini declutters before I start tackling the loft, which will be next month's project. And I'm also going to be going back to my dad's house on Wednesday. So let me just remind you how this was looking before I started my speed clean of this evening. Chaos, quite frankly, stuff everywhere. A kitchen island that could not be seen, and cooking stuff everywhere. All the toys, which my 2-year-old had dumped out when she was getting bored earlier as I was cooking, and all the baking stuff. A few little things out from cooking yesterday, but mostly this was just from cooking my evening meal. And here is what it is looking like after, I would say, about half an hour. So I had 20 minutes in total on the timer. I set the timer again for another 5 minutes and spent another few minutes after that wiping down the bleach. So in total, we had around 30 minutes to get on top of this, and it is looking so much better. Everything packed away. The robot vacuum cleaner will do its thing while we are doing bedtime, and then I don't have to worry about this when I have finished up for the evening. I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.